Hello everyone, this is Roxas1559. Welcome back to Let's Play BioShock Infinite. Last time, we ended up making our way through the Bank of the Prophet, fighting the Siren once again. And in this episode, we're gonna be finishing up with Downtown Emporia. I know, we've been in here for 3 episodes and we're still already doing Downtown Emporia. Downtown Emporia is probably the longest section of the game. But now we need to follow the Siren back to Comstock's house, because that's where she's going to be. And guess what? We get to fight her again. Now, I'm going to use my money to do something a little bit unorthodox. We're going to be getting RPG damage increase for something later in the game, because I can say it right now, as of this point of BioShock Infinite, I have beaten my practice file. Which means I know what's coming up at the end of the game. And one of the things that's coming up at the end of the game involves an RPG. Isn't that just swell? I don't have enough of the clip size increase. But enough about that. Oh, money. Thanks, Elizabeth. That one silver eagle will make a difference. It will make all the difference in everything. But let's buy some machine gun ammo because we're gonna need it. Because we get to fight the Siren one last time. Seriously, I hate fighting the Siren. It's like my most hated enemy in this game. Oh wow, the game saved my traps that I threw when I was, you know, busy doing things. Anyway, last part I also ended up mentioning that I thought I was missing some voxophones. Turns out I'm not. I just miscounted. And in fact, we're actually pretty set on voxophones for the rest of the game, provided I get all the remaining voxophones, because if I don't, then what would be the point? And in terms of infusions, there's 1 infusion left in the game, because you can't fully max out everything in this game, unfortunately, which actually gets into a thing I discovered.
And anyone who knew the truth was better dead than alive.
I'm not even his daughter. I'm just some specimen poked and prodded.
No, you are not. Just listen to me. What you've been through, ain't nobody in the world deserves that.
Booker.
We are getting out of here. You got it? You're never gonna have to look back.
Well, that's nice. Anyway, one thing I actually ended up finding out was that inside the official guide for this game, apparently there's a typo. Well, I wouldn't really call it a typo as much as it says there's an infusion in the graveyard inside of Downtown Emporia, but there isn't one there. I know for a fact there isn't one there because I took my notes based on the wiki, which also used guides as its references. So, yeah. That's interesting that the guide ends up misprinting that, but oh well. Anyway, here we are. And guess what? Quest update, return to Comstock Gate. Well, notice all the dead bodies and notice the hand cannon. Probably shouldn't have grabbed that. Sandwich.
Tess is not my mother. Neither are you. He killed you both. Because of me. I know you hate me for not being your daughter. And I hated you for not being my mother. Punish her!
Oh boy.
Elizabeth!
There!
Thank you. I needed those. There we go. That beats her.
I owe you an apology. Comstock used me to bring you back, but I brought back a version of you from the reality that I had built up in my own head. He pretended to love you, like he pretended to love me. I am not your husband's bastard. I am his victim. My days of victimhood are done. We must forgive each other. Because there's one far worse than you or I.
Prophet killed me.
Because you wouldn't keep his secret about me.
If that's so, then why am I alive?
Not in this world. Maybe this is you in another world where you never meet him.
What about I saved him?
I don't know. Is that possible?
Find out, child. Find out.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, there goes that. And that takes care of downtown Emporia. Interestingly enough, the gate... Wait, it didn't close? Okay, so I had a glitch happen to me while I was doing my practice file. That gate closed, and the gates close when you end up going and fighting the siren for the final time. That always happens. But for some odd reason, one of the gates never reopened for me when I ended up beating the siren. And I had used the time to go through all of...
Want to hold on to this?
Yes, I do. I went through all of Emporia looking to see if I had missed anything, when in reality I didn't. And... yeah, that gate right over there just never reopened, so I had to walk all the way around the other side of Emporia. But that actually went very well against the siren. In my practice file, I died multiple times to the siren, and in this one, I didn't die once. I'm so proud of myself. But it's time, folks. It's time we head off to Comstock House. All right. That way leads up to Comstock House. Totally not ominous or foreboding in the slightest. I wonder, is it possible to go back down to downtown Emporia, or does the gate lock? Okay, the door just doesn't give you the prompt. I was just curious. Alright. So, like all things, we must pull levers. Oh.
Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt.
Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt. me back. Take me home. Please.
Well then.
I'm not letting you take her, you hear me? Ah, you mother piece of shit! I'm not going to...
What the?
Snow. It's July. Elizabeth! Can you hear me?
Get your hands off of me!
This is getting weird.
Take me back to my tower. Please, please.
Is that...
Some men dream of money. Some men dream of love. My father dreamt of a flood of fire. We were given Eden, and we turned it into Sodom. Why do we deserve salvation? The Lord gave Noah a fish in the form of a flood, but he was not so easy on me. He said, "Prophet, I want you to train a nation of fishermen."
Well then.
What is this place? What are you planning to do to me?
What is this thing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And more for your money. That's for hitting more than 5 people at once with a tonic, with a vigor. These lunatics are insane. All right. Now I should mention while we're inside Comstock House, because we don't have Elizabeth, we won't be getting much ammo, we won't be able to get much stuff, and we're going to be encountering what is known as the Boy of Silence.
Damn it! I gotta find a way in. Alright. Listen. I just want to see the girl. Doesn't matter. Just gotta get to the warden's office.
So, get to the warden's office.
What is this place? Just send me back to my tower.
It's too late for that now, child. Your father gave you a lovely home, and you chose to destroy it.
He's not my father.
Interesting. But we have our first voxophone of Comstock House by Elizabeth.
I suppose the siphon is a kind of leash. Yes, my father put it on me. When the time came, neither did I remove it myself. What would happen if I took off the leash and I found I was as obedient as ever?
Elizabeth sounds a little bit odd, don't you think? Oh boy. So that person right there, the one who ended up getting me in trouble beforehand.
Like my father,
Oh.
I could see all that would be, might be, and must not be.
Whew. Pretty much stay out of the spotlight. But go over this way, and we have ourselves our first of the kinetoscopes. One of the last kinetoscopes of the entire game. So, look on in it. Sunrise. In Colombia, 1909. That's 34. 2 more kinetoscopes, 1 more telescope, and then we're done, folks. Search the bag, some silver eagles. Alright, now that person right there is known as the Boy of Silence. The Boy of Silence is pretty much alarm for these lunatics. And if he sees you and screams, well, then the lunatics turn into what we saw at the door. And that's not fun. So you might be thinking, oh, I'll just take out the Boy of Silence. You can't do that. The Boy of Silence is indestructible. Cannot be harmed in the slightest. So, let's go inside here. What have we got over here? It's another tear.
Would you like to pray with me?
You're hurting me. Please just let me go.
We're going to cure you.
I'm not sick.
Your spirit is. All I ever wanted is to see you live up to your potential.
So you're going to torture her then. Comstock, Parent of the Year. But come over this way. And we got a vial of salts. And our next voxophone by Elizabeth.
Our minds are born festering with sin. Some are so blighted, they will never find redemption. The mind must be pulled up from the roots. My children are without blame, without fault, and without choice. For what is the value of will when the spirit is found wanting?
Good question. Anyway, we got a hand cannon right here. Take that if you will. I'm not going to take the hand cannon. For once, I'm not going to use the hand cannon because this isn't a section that's really meant for, you know, going nuts. You know, this scene would be a lot more impactful if this wheel wasn't clipping through the floor.
I'm Dr. Pettifog, Elizabeth, and I'll be taking care of you.
Get away from me.
Defiant, even after all this time. DeWitt just left you here. You need to give up on him, love.
He will come.
Well, I'm on my way right now. But guess what? We've got a Boy of Silence in here. Alright, let's see. Okay. So there's a pistol right here if you so need it.
The specimen needs to be destroyed. We couldn't even hold her in that tower, and now the Prophet...
Destroy the lamb? His heir?
If we modify the procedure, we could... It would be safer for everyone. It would seem an accident.
So they want to kill Elizabeth. Interesting. Alright, let's wait for you to not be looking this way. I'd prefer it if you weren't. There we go. That's a good boy of silence. There we go. All right. So that deals with that. Grab some ammo. We got another tear over here. But the boy of silence is still looking as his light clips through the wall.
You're not eating, love. Is something the matter? You'll need to eat sooner or later. If you hold out for DeWitt, you'll just starve to death. Come now.
I don't get it. We just got separated from Elizabeth. Why does it sound like time's passed even more? Alright, now there should be enemies up here,
What
so...
did the Lord receive in return for his gifts? Eve and her apple, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay.
Humanity wrote a bad check.
Nothing.
And the blood was the
Nothing.
only way to settle accounts. For what is Columbia, if not a different arc?
Oh, look, a trash can for me to rummage through with silver eagles. Perfect. Alright, so there's the warden's office. So let's head on over there.
The child is ready. It's time.
Prophet, even if we cure her, why do you think she'll do what you ask?
My daughter has two problems, Doctor. One is the condition that science will cure her of. The other affliction is of a spiritual nature.
What affliction is that?
Hope.
Interesting. But there's kinetoscope number 2 of this place. So, let's use it. Hummingbirds, 1909. That's 35. One more kinetoscope, and then we're done with those of the game.
Surgery is tomorrow, you know. You better eat. Oh, you still expect DeWitt to burst in and rescue you, don't you? It's been 6 months.
6 months.
6 months? But we just barely got separated from her. That seems rather peculiar. But we've got another boy of silence coming up right here. But what sucks about this one is I'm going to get caught because we've got some gear we've got to get. I know what gear does. Health for salts. When out of salts, use your health to cast vigor? That seems horrible. Nope, go. Alright, so come back here and pick up the Voxophone by Elizabeth.
Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt. But in the end, he is the one who'll have to pay down all of our accounts, won't he? Where does his guilt start? And mine end?
Okay, gonna wait for him to turn around. Okay, I'm not standing up. Not as long as the Boy of Silence is there. Alright. That room went a lot better than it did in practice. I'm still crouching because I'm still scared.
A man once promised me that he would free me of my chains. But in the end, he abandoned me to serve his own needs. But in some ways, I thank him. He showed me exactly how much faith our species deserved. God put his faith in men once too. It seems that we have something in common. Disappointment.
Interesting.
I always loved the prophet. In truth, I ran from his embrace. I even denied that I was his. I followed a man who seemed to be everything my father was not. That man was a false shepherd. And when the wolves came for me, he was nowhere to be found.
Well then. But, come along right here, and we have our third and final kinetoscope of the game. Battleship Falls. And with that, we only have one thing left in the game for the Sightseer trophy, and that is the telescope of Comstock House. But let's look around right here. We're finally inside the warden's office. And we got another piece of gear right here. So pick this up. Rising Bloodlust. After each successful kill, up to 5, weapon damages increase. Resets 10 seconds after last kill. Well, my current hat is better than that. My current hat is always the best. So, we got shotguns. We got carbines. And there should be a voxophone right here. So, let's listen.
As the days pass, I believe less in God and more in new tests. My powers shrivel as my regrets blossom. All of this because my father failed me. By the time I realized how far I'd gone, it was too late to stop it. But there is still one last chance at redemption for both of us.
Interesting. Well, we got a pistol right here in case you need it. But if we come over there, we got a voxophone inside the warden's office.
There's the switch.
But first, voxophone by Elizabeth.
What I've done cannot be undone. I cannot stop what I have put in motion. But perhaps I can keep it from ever starting. He was my first hope. And now, he is my last.